Or take some time to yourself in our luxurious spa. And of course, you'll want to try your luck on our 200,000 square foot gaming floor. Cash in at Cache Creek Casino Resort. Visit cashcreek.com to learn more.
Officers, start the holidays off right with special savings on the high-performance Dell XPS and Alienware systems. These deals are perfect for helping anyone power their greatest passions. Plus, save on top monitors, docks, and accessories, all with free shipping. You heard that right, free shipping. Just call 800-BUY-DELL. That's 800-BUY-DELL.
Or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. The scent of Gain Flings. Add Gain scent beads for an even longer-lasting scent.
95.3. Tequila, rum, scotch, and gin, vermouth, that's extra dry. Hard seltzers and single malts, so many for you to try. Now offering delivery in select markets. See details at TotalWine.com/delivery.
Things for the beauty lover on your list. Right now, get up to 50% off deals each week from brands like CeraVe, Benefit, Urban Decay, and more. Because a lot more gift ideas means a little less shopping stress. And to make shopping even easier, you can buy online and pick up the very same day. Hurry! This event ends December 25th. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful.
Breathe in the bacon. Now breathe out the bacon. Breathe in the bacon. Breathe out the bacon. In bacon. Out bacon.
Time for bacon. Find delicious satisfaction with the Double Western Bacon Cheeseburger. Only at Carl's Jr. Feed your happy. Available at participating Carl's Jr. restaurants. Price and participation may vary.
In and out, that's what hamburger's all about.
Get your holiday gift cards online or at any In-N-Out Burger location.
Everyone was bored, even the hamster Klaus. The TV was blaring with reruns galore, while Grandma and Grandpa were competing to snore. Then holiday scratchers got pulled from a stocking, and Peppermint Payout got the whole house rocking. 'Twas a moment of fun that gave them a reason to give holiday scratchers. They're the gift of the season. The California Lottery helped them find a way, because a little play can make your day. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase player claim.
It's the holidays at Universal Studios Hollywood. With Coke and Wendy's, this is going to be good. Bring a friend, share a Coke. We're together for the first time in ages. Holiday lights glowing bright. And the Grinch himself is always outrageous. See it all with a holiday deal. When you enjoy an ice-cold Coke with a Wendy's combo meal, you can save up to $50 on an annual pass. The fun starts November 26th. Get details at universalstudioshollywood.com/Coke. Offer ends December 16th, 2021. Blackout dates and restrictions apply.
Let it snow.
Have a holly jolly Christmas.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
Thanks for being a part of Sacramento's
Cash Rewards credit card. You can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Rewards which you can put toward an extra treat that everyone will enjoy, like an old-fashioned popcorn machine. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now.
Budget, but your neighborhood grocery outlet is the destination for savings of 40 to 70% on your holiday meals, as well as everyday items. Stop by your local grocery outlet today. Save big this holiday season and bring home some holiday cheer.
And if possible, keep gathering small, short, and outdoors if you're uncertain of everyone's vaccination status. Bring on the cheer safely this year. Find a vaccine near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
I can create a future I look forward to.
When you enroll at a California community college, you open the door to unlimited possibilities. Whether you want to transfer to a 4-year university or earn an associate degree, financial aid and hundreds of career programs are here to help make it all happen.
I can do this.
It's time to take control of your future. Classes can fill up quickly, so enroll today at icangotocollege.com.
This report. So what are you waiting for? It's time to rethink your approach to ED and low T. To celebrate 10 years of helping improve the lives of men, Revive Men's Health is offering initial consultations for just $49. Call 916-277-8599 to schedule a personalized and confidential consultation today for just $49. That's 916-277-8599 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com to schedule an appointment.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea,
What's that?
It's Pepto-Bismol chews.
Pepto-Bismol's in a chew?
Yeah, they taste great and provide fast relief. And you can always have Pepto-Bismol handy.
Ooh, let me try it.
Try Pepto-Bismol chews for fast relief. Tremfya is approved for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Emerge Tremfyant. Tremfya can help reduce joint symptoms at 24 weeks. Some patients reported less fatigue as assessed by survey 1 week prior. Individual results may vary.
Tremfya is taken by injection at week 0 and 4, and then every 8 weeks. Following the 2 starter doses, that's 6 doses a year. By prescription only, serious allergic reactions may occur. Tremfya may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms of infection, including fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough. Tell your doctor if you had a vaccine or plan to.
Tremfya. Emerge Tremfyant. To learn more, call 1-877-578-3527 or visit Tremfya.com and talk to your doctor about Tremfya. See our ad in Health Magazine.
At AT&T. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching Grandma how to video call. And teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Anna. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Let's get ready to rumble! Welcome to the show. My name is Charlton with the Big C Sports and the Charlton with Big C Sports, coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, on the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe. Of course, the people who love sports is all fair and never war. Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus. Ho, ho, ho! The beautiful December the 14th, 2021. Welcome to the show. Or should I say, welcome to the ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas. Hey, I'm trying. You know, you can laugh all you want, but I'm trying. Trying to get a new opening. Today's show is sponsored by your Northern California Cadillac dealers, home of the all-new Cadillac Escalade. Ho, ho, ho! When you reach out to them, the test drive viewers, just tell them Charlton, Big C Sports Center. You can follow Big C Sports actually all around the world on 20 podcast applications all over the universe. Give that some praise. Come on. Give that some praise. Ho, ho, ho! On 20 podcast applications all over the universe. It was supposed to start in 2022, but they did it earlier. So thank you for our agency for that. You can follow Big C Sports on Google Podcasts, Alexa, Spotify, Speaker Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeart-Radio-Podcast, Castbox Podcast, Deezer Podcast, Podcast Addict, and also Podchaser. And now you know I got to take a pause because I got to catch my breath. I gotta catch my breath. Give me some praise for catching my breath. So much. That's my exercise plan. Just catch my breath 2 times. 2 times. You need the gym for that. You can also follow Big C Sports Podcast on GeoSavan Podcast out of London, England, Podtail Podcast, YouTube Podcast, Hubhopper, Stitcher, Radio Line, Repod Podcast, Luminary Podcast, also Listen Notes, and the next one, actually the last one that was added is called Podwise. So Podwise, you can follow Big C Sports. Give that some praise. Give that some praise all over the universe. That means they're growing started with one app. That was at Salem Media. And now got 20 podcast apps. You can also follow Big C Sports on 4 TV platforms, 4 TV applications. Number 1, Xfinity Comcast TV. Number 2, Apple TV. Number 3, Roku TV. If you're looking for a Roku channel, you can follow Big C Sports on Roku TV. You can also follow Big C Sports on Amazon Prime TV. That's 4 TV applications all over the universe. Give that some praise. 4 TV applications. When you see it on TV, it's just a still screen. Not doing live video yet. Maybe doing that in 2022. It's all fair and nothing more. But really do appreciate the growth happening with Big C Sports Podcast. And so many things are happening in the sports world. I'm telling you tonight, Steph Curry has broken the NBA three-point record. We'll talk about that later. Don't want to give out scores or how many points he scored, but that's against the New York Knicks at beautiful Madison Square Garden. But I love paying homage on Big C Sports Podcast to my family legacy, and I love saying we all come from somewhere. My roots are, as far as I can know, when I was growing up as a little boy, on my mother's side, my great-grandmother called her Mamo, one of the best human beings ever born on the planet. And then my great-grandfather, Pop, the patriarch of the family, and he was well known for making the best moonshine in the universe. Also well known for saying, boy, get out of that barn before a lightning strikes you. Oh my God, it's his little boys. And then on my mother's side, my grandmother called her Madia, and she's a wonderful person as well. And then my grandfather Hezekiah is all very wonderful. And then my beautiful mother helped start a Head Start program in Northern California and helped live in the Little League Championship of the universe. Give that some praise. Always saying rise and shine. The only black woman in all the sports league. Talk about black men getting a hard time getting a job nowadays as a coach. She was a black woman in a league with all white men. And could you believe that some of the parents said, I do not want my daughter or my son playing for your team. She said quit. So we still won the Little League Championship of the universe. But she had to put up with a lot of crap from so-called Christians. Funny. If you don't like it, quit. All fair level war. Then on my father's side, my grandfather called him Albert Curry. He was a pastor, had 2 churches, and built one in Central California, also had a church in Oakland, California, and as well as ran 2 service stations, owned 2 service stations back in the 70s in Oakland, California. And then my grandmother, Alberta Curry, they're very wise business people. She helped run the churches and also the service stations in Oakland. Really do appreciate that. My father, retired Air Force fighter pilot and chief mechanic, helping planes fly high so we could all stay safe. My beautiful brother, Todd, known his voice is kind of like thunder and lightning. Really love to appreciate all the things I've learned from Todd over the years. And my handsome son, Malcolm, a college student, one of the best kids ever, and he helps me with the NBA stats. He's all over it, knows the stuff inside and out. Very happy that Steph Curry set the NBA record tonight. My daughter, Daisy, also had helped me set up in coaches that would come to the West Coast. She would help me do that at college, graduated, double majors, 3.5 years. Very beautiful, the most beautiful daughter in the universe. And then my big C, also with his wealth of knowledge in the past. I want to give everybody some praise for being with the Big C Sports Podcast as life goes on. All fair and love and war. So what I love is saying, let's get ready to rumble. Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus. What I love the Big C Sports Podcast, I have a good time on it as much as I can. Welcome to the show, ESPY-nominated Big C Sports Podcast. I've been hearing that on ESPN. Welcome to the show. Man, they don't even say they got it from Big C Sports, but no scripts, no 3-way teleprompters, no producer in my ear. And I do it with my higher self, the work that I get from God, and just believing and just pushing forward and staying as well informed as humanly possible. I produce the show. I direct all the topics. I broadcast the shows, and then I do all the sound effects that are provided by the agency, by what they provide. It's all fair and level war with that. And then also, outside of the commercials done by the agency, I provide the stats. I do the stats providing, the storytelling, and then I even do the play-by-play like you heard tonight at Madison Square Garden. Steph Curry for 3! As he broke the record. First he tied the record of Ray Allen. Ray Allen set the record, I believe, when he was in Boston against the LA Lakers. And so now, something about the East Coast, Steph Curry set the record tonight at beautiful Madison Square Garden. Steph Curry for 3! Going to talk more about him and how he's done his thing. And then I upload the show to 20 podcast applications. In fact, I just uploaded to my platform, and now it goes out to 20 podcast applications. Isn't that something? You hear that, Lee Steinberg? 20 podcast applications. Give that some praise, Mr. Steinberg. You know what I'm talking about. Lee Steinberg's going to be in my book that's coming out also in 2022. Really appreciate that. And the interview that he gave me. So it's all fair and level war. Now I just need that contract, Lee, as you understand what I'm saying. But Big C Sports Podcast, I also say one of the only sports shows in the universe that honors God. I love the Bible. Genesis 13:15 says, for all the land that thou seest will I give you, and thy seed forever. The book of James chapter 4 verse 2 said, we have not because we ask not. So if you want something, just ask. Give asking some praise. Somebody was asking for something the other day. I said, well, you just got to ask. The answer is either yes or no. If you don't ask, then you know it's a no. So just ask. All you can do is yes. Funny, my pastor walked up to me in church, and he said, hey, have you made an appointment to see me? And I said, no, I haven't. He said, make an appointment with my secretary to see me. I said, okay. I don't know what it was. Hopefully this daughter offer me some money. He's listening to the podcast. Hopefully he's going to offer me $10 million. It's all fair in love and war. And I mean, if you have not because you ask not. I also want to say to our Veterans Crisis Hotline, they really are experienced helping veterans and their loved ones get help. And they will stand on their head to make sure that you get help. If you know any veterans going through any issues, oftentimes they don't tell people. But you can pick up the phone and just let them know it's available. 800-273-8255. That's 800-273-8255. Or you can text 838-255. That's 838-255. Or if you're online, you can just go to veteranscrisisline.net. That's veteranscrisisline.net, and they can help the veterans. It can even be you. It doesn't have to be a civilian. It doesn't have to be a veteran. Could be a civilian. Everybody needs a checkup from the neck up. We all need someone to lean on, and I really do appreciate giving out that Veterans Crisis Hotline. Give the Veterans Hotline some praise. I said, give it some praise. The Veterans Crisis Hotline doing everything they can to make sure that people know when you need help, somebody's there, because we all need somebody to lean on, and I love bringing that information as well as possible as I can. I just know sometimes you just need someone to listen, and people often have said over the years that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And as people go through things, there are sometimes people don't want anything to do with you, and that's okay too. But you got to believe in you that God always has your back. So give that some praise too. I want to say give that. We go, here comes Santa Claus. You never know. He knows when you've been sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been bad or good. So you better listen to Dixie Sports for goodness sake. It's all fair in love and war. I love giving out the Veterans Crisis Hotline. I also want to say that I learned something about a book today. It's called Boundaries by Henry Cloud. That's Boundaries by Henry Cloud. Everyone should read that book. It's about how to take back your time, and you got to have boundaries in your life, because if you don't, sometimes people will invade your boundaries, whether it's good or bad, but you got to make sure you know your boundaries, and it's all fair in love and war, but people, if you know your boundaries, then you're more likely to protect them and not let other people harm you. And your boundary that you got to protect is the boundary of your mind. So for those of you protecting the boundaries of the mind, a book written by Henry Cloud, give that some praise. I said, give it praise. You got to protect your mind. You got to protect the boundaries of your mind, because sometimes people will come in and kill, steal, and destroy. That's what the enemy does. All fair and love and war. Don't let it happen. Don't let anyone break that circle. I want to say thank you to Xfinity Comcast TV and Comcast Spotlight Effect TV for presenting Big C Sports to the universe. Just like in Genesis 1:3, God said, let there be light. Open your cell phone to say play Big C Sports Podcast, and you'll hear it, and then you hear it, give it some praise. You got to give it praise. I'm going to praise the mood. I'm like, why do my pastor want me to have an appointment with him? I said, I know, because he wants to give me $10 million. So, Pastor, I know you listen to Big C Sports, and I'm thanking you in advance. I thank you in advance. It takes faith. The faith that the size of the great of a mustard seed. Thank you for the $10 million, Pastor. Really appreciate that. But I also want to say you can follow Big C Sports all over the world, and that, to me, just a really blessing. And for our sponsors that carry the show, really do appreciate that. There's a lot of great things coming in 2022. I also want to thank my affiliation with ValleyHomesWeekly.com, a real estate show that lists properties on television. And then also in your neck of the woods, go to the nationalrealestatepost.com. That's the nationalrealestatepost.com, as well as for mortgage news in your neck of the woods all over the country. Go to mortgagedailynews.com. That's mortgagedailynews.com. You can find out what's going on in real estate. Or if you're looking for more information and want to join a real estate team, call 800-772-8624. That's 800-772-8624. And I will stand on my head to make you a deal. Pick up the phone and call. It's all fair and level war. Join the Big C team. Looking to get 10,000 real estate agents all over this country to do more real estate transactions for you sports bettors. I keep getting guys call me all the time. Hey, Carlton, I got a real deal on you. And I told you last night when I was watching the Arizona Cardinals and Los Angeles Rams game, I was thinking, why are the Rams only a 2.5-point underdog? And the Cardinals were favored by 2.5 points after they had just beaten them in Los Angeles by 17 points. I think the first game was 37-20. That's 17 points if my math is right. And then last night, it's as if the Cardinals just couldn't get their groove back. They couldn't get their footing together. They were at home. They wore their all red uniforms and they looked really sharp. And the Rams came in and did a good job. Odell Beckham Jr., he was doing his thing. He was showing out last night. But the sports guys that were calling said, I can't miss. You want to put all the money you got on the LA Rams. I'm like, why put it on the Rams? Didn't they lose by 17 points? They said, trust me. You know what you do when the gambler says, trust me? You don't trust them. But I should have trusted them last night. So for the gamblers out there and the guys that get the inside information, give them praise. I said, give them praise. It's all fair in love and war. I also want to say thank you to Budweiser Zero. It has 0% alcohol, but it comes 100% honest game. Sports fans, when you're watching the big game, you want to eat it with the Big C burger. It's a tasty burger, and it comes with, what's all this exotic meat? And a Cardinal and a Ram are exotic meats. Last night's game was the Big C burger game. Oh, man, what a great football game that was. I got so many things to talk about, especially as we get into some of the NBA. Gonna come back and talk about Steph Curry. Well, you know, Steph Curry, I love his last name. Someone said, hey, Charlton, are you related to Curry? I said, heck yeah. Heck yeah, Curry for 3. We're going to take what's called the Big C Balls, also known as the Big C Timeout. When we come back, we're going to talk more about Steph Curry for 3 and the words of former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. All right, we are back from the Big C Pause, also known as the Big C Timeout. You can follow Big C Sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 20 podcast applications all over the universe. Give that some praise. And 4 TV applications. Man, some news in the NBA basketball. James Harden's entered COVID protocol. Also, the Lakers canceled practice today also because there's a couple of players also that entered the COVID protocol as the NBA. There was 37 NFL players just yesterday that had tested positive for COVID. And I know most people said that about 95% of the NFL are vaccinated. I guess it's similar to the NBA. So there's a lot of things that are going on. I don't even know what it means to the world of the vaccinators and the anti-vaccinators if you get more privileges for being vaccinated and compared to those who are not vaccinated. What happens when you get vaccinated and then you still have to sit out on the COVID protocol? So if you're getting vaccinated and you're still facing the COVID protocol, and those who are not vaccinated, they have to face more stringent ways to get into the facility, then I'm not going to say don't get vaccinated. Please get vaccinated. Even my doctor told me for those who are vaccinated, the reaction a lot less severe than those who are not vaccinated. So again, listen to your doctors. It's all fair in love and war. We all know that's true. But I also want to get on Steph Curry breaking the all-time three-point record tonight at Madison Square Garden. He came into the game that he had just finished hitting 5 for 15 in Indiana, and then I guess even had some airplane problems getting out of Indianapolis last night, and they're now, long story short, they arrived safe in New York City. Golden State Warriors Steph Curry now just 2 3-pointers away from breaking Hall of Famer Ray Allen's all-time record. That was the theater coming into the game, and they were saying that tickets for Madison Square Garden for the cheapest ticket in the house, supposedly about $97, and they were saying that some tickets were being scalped for about $500 for the cheap seats at Madison Square Garden. So imagine people in New York just wanting to see Steph Curry do his thing. I don't even think his father, Dale Curry, expected him to be this kind of shooter, but coming into it, they had to win over Indiana back in Indianapolis. It was 102-100 over Indiana Pacers. I'm not talking about who won the game tonight in New York City. It's still just wrapping up in a little bit, but I'm not going to talk about that because everybody's probably DVR'd the game as well. And I've even DVR'd the game. I'm just looking at different things that come across the internet. It's all fair and love and war. But I think about Steph Curry. He came into the game at Madison Square Garden with 2,972 career three-pointers. And, of course, what I was thinking, with Spike Lee in the house, he got game with Ray Allen, with Denzel Washington. And to me, it could be he got game part 2 with Steph Curry setting the record. How about this? Steph Curry, he got game 2. It's that makes it he should be in the new movie. Either Charlton Curry or Steph Curry. If Steph can't be there, then Charlton Curry can still get a spot. Just make sure you use that CGI when I shoot. Curry for a three! Make sure you CGI it so the basket goes through like it does for him. All fair in other words. But I think about what it means to Curry and the whole Warrior organization. They're probably ready to get past it. Obviously, with him breaking the record tonight, and obviously everybody loves him. Even fans that are against Golden State rooting for the Knicks, he'll get his ovation, but they'll also heckle him too. They're not going to just bow down to him the whole time. But he's really done a great job. When I think about the muscle that he's put on to make his body more physically strong, to take the contact, as well as driving the basket, he's always moving around like the Energizer Bunny. He'll take contact. He'll go inside the paint with the big boys and get layups and lay it off the glass, as well as he'll pull out from three and sometimes 5 feet behind three, even as much as half court at times, and knock down a three. So seeing that get done tonight, and again, I haven't even seen the game yet. I'm just going by what I've seen on the internet. I recorded it because I want to watch it myself, but I know it's hard to always do that as well. But I really am happy for the Golden State Warriors growing up out here in California. They are the marquee program in Northern California, have been since the days of Rick Barry, and even I remember the great Rod Higgins that played for the Golden State Warriors, and all of those great players that played over the years. And there was also Nate Thurman played for the Golden State Warriors. Nate's Barbecue was a fixture in Oakland. Now they're back over in San Francisco. There's just so many great players that have been a part of that Warriors operation, and they moved from Oakland back to San Francisco where they started, and it's just amazing to see him do that. And when you think about it, even Warriors forward Draymond Green echoed a similar sentiment that it's going to be nice when it's done so they can focus on getting back to the playoffs and then winning another NBA championship. They played in the 5 NBA finals in this decade alone. When you think about how good they were in the last decade, going back to 2015. But this is the team with the Golden State Warriors. They've carried the mantle for basketball in Northern California, really in all of California, outside of the Lakers getting a win down in the bubble in Orlando. So that was not even in California where it was done. And so Golden State, obviously, they're just an amazing team. And the Golden State Warriors are following with Big C Sports also in NFT marketing, which is called, well, I'm telling you, NFTs, non-fungible tokens, is embedded in it. Golden State Warriors are becoming a partner of that. Big C Sports is also a part of NFTs, and I have a great partner that has helped me with that. Tillman Holloway out of Texas. Really do appreciate that. There's a lot of other people that have been telling me about that too. We know the Staples Centers in Los Angeles has been named Crypto.com Arena. So the cryptocurrency industry, Big C Sports is also going to be a part of that. And I think for the partners that have brought me into that platform, not really knowing as much as I thought I knew about it, but now the Golden State Warriors have become officially a partner of NFTs also, and that's big. So I want to give an awesome praise. Everyone that reaches out to Big C Sports, give it praise. For all the people all over the world, the millions of people that can follow Big C Sports, really do appreciate the growth of our company, and really do appreciate you, Lee Steinberg, for being a part of my book, and looking forward to so many things with Big C Sports Podcast, All Fair and Level War. I do want to touch a little bit more before I come up on the Big C Pause about what Steph Curry has done tonight. Again, I'm not going to talk about how many points he scored, but the fact that the record did fall in New York City, of all places. But when you think about the success of the Bay Area, Big C Sports started in Northern California in 2015. Give that some praise. I said give that some praise. Give that praise. Actually, right around with Super Bowl 50 that took place in San Francisco, Santa Clara, watching Big C Sports back in the day too. But when you think about Bay Area, where a lot of great things have happened, the longest high school winning streak in high school football was De La Salle High School of Concord, California. They started the win streak back in 1992, and they won off up until 2004, undefeated. They started by beating Merced. I think it was 34-14, And they went all the way up until 2004 before they lost a game to Bellevue, Washington. I think that was 39-20 up at now Lumen Field, Questfield at the time. So the longest high school football winning streak in the history of high school football, and Big C Sports does Friday Night Lights. That's De La Salle High School in Northern California. Give them some praise. Give them some praise. Then you want to also look at Northern California, as well as Big C Sports started in Northern California. Major League Baseball, when you think about this, it's so true. In the Major League Baseball universe, the great Barry Bonds is the leading home run hitter in the history of Major League Baseball. 762 home runs. The pitch, swung on, hit deep, right field, back to home runs. Say hello to my little friend. And Barry Bonds has hit 762 home runs. And now he's also out of Northern California, Sarah High School, that just competed for a California State Championship. They lost to Mater Dei 44-7, but that's the same high school that Barry Bonds went to, as well as Lynn Swann went there. Tom Brady went there also. And when you think about Barry Bonds, when he hit the home run, it was at Pac-Bell Park at the time. Now it's called Oracle Ballpark. That's less than a mile north of the beautiful Chase Center. Chase Center is just about less than a mile south of now Oracle Ballpark in beautiful downtown San Francisco, right off the Embarcadero. So when you think about it, Steph Curry setting the record, he actually did it in New York City tonight. Steph Curry for a three! All fair in love and war. And I'm just going to tell you, it started early in the game that Steph Curry broke the record, but I'm not going to spoil it for people. But it's just amazing, as I was saying, Steph Curry for a three! Okay, the record it's already been down and established. So just appreciate what's happened here in Northern California alone. So Steph Curry is now the NBA points record leader, 3-point record leader. And when you think about it, something about the San Francisco Bay Area, Northern California, the San Francisco 49ers, we can think about NFL football, the NFL all-time touchdown leader in receptions, okay? That's none other than the great Jerry Rice. Touchdown, Jerry Rice. Montana, 4 wideouts. I-set formation. Craig in the backfield. 5-man front by the Cowboys. Montana, the snap. Rolling to his right. Looking, throws downfield. It is caught by Jerry Rice. Touchdown! 49ers! Jerry Rice! You know he went over to Oakland also, but finished his career with 208 touchdowns. Receptions. That leads the NFL out of Mississippi Valley State. You know where he played? San Francisco and Oakland. And then he also played in Seattle, bounced around the league at the end, but he made a success in San Francisco and then also went to a Super Bowl with the Oakland Raiders as well. So he's out of Northern California, the all-time touchdown NFL receptions leader. That's touchdown Jerry Rice. Isn't that amazing? Northern California again. In the Candlestick Park, of course, has since been torn down. That's a ballpark that I would sneak into as a little boy. I think I'm the reason, some of my friends are the reason they put security around. But Curry hit his second three-pointer of the night and broke the record on his second three-pointer. I mean, it's just amazing to see. And the people in Madison Square Garden, some of them, don't want to clap, but they clap. Give them a lot of appreciation for Steph Curry. And then also in the Bay Area, in the NFL, Tom Brady, who also went to Sarah High School in San Mateo, same high school as Barry Bonds and Lynn Swann, he sets the NFL passing record, when you think about that, of 617 touchdowns. That's the great touchdown. Tom Brady set that record. Think about that, 617 touchdown passes. And he's also out of Northern California, went to Michigan instead of going to Cal Berkeley, but also played at Sarah High School in San Mateo. So when you think about the success that's come out of the Bay Area, Northern California, I mean, I really appreciate being out here to see a lot of those great things that have happened over the years in the world of football and basketball and baseball. Seen it all out here in Northern California. It's just amazing to be a part of it, and I've loved being able to grow up around it, seeing so many of the best, I guess you could say, world-class athletes that played college, high school, and also professional in the Bay Area. It's just so much to do in California. there's so many reasons that people want to come out here and live in Northern California. It's a beautiful place right there on the Pacific Ocean. You have the beautiful valleys. You have the beautiful foothills and the mountains. We have snow about an hour and a half outside of the San Francisco, up in the Sacramento foothills, the Lake Tahoe region. Also, the weather's so perfect. There's so many lakes and different things to do for families in Northern California. And that's why I just wanted to say that special thing for not just Steph Curry setting the three-point record tonight, but also Barry Bonds, the home run record for Major League Baseball, 762. And also, right now, it's still counting for Tom Brady, 617 touchdown passes, and Jerry Rice, 208 touchdown receptions. If I say 218, rumor has it he may sign back with the 49ers for their playoff run. Would that be Garoppolo to Jerry Rice? Touchdown! 49ers! Jimmy G to Jerry Rice. Oh, fair love war. Let me get back to reality now. We have Tuesday, December 14th, NBA action. Toronto at Brooklyn again. James Harden out because of COVID protocol. Golden State Warriors at the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden. That game is wrapping up on TNT. And then the Phoenix Suns up in Portland, the Great Northwest. And that game tips off at 7 p.m. also on TNT. There's a lot of great things to be grateful for coming up on this holiday season. And I'm just grateful also to be able to do a sports show that's here in Northern California, being able to see so many great athletes growing up over the years. Just seeing them, being able to cover them. I've been covering sports at the professional level since 1996 when I started my first game in the press box. It was actually with John Madden and Pat Summerall. It was a Thursday night game at Fox Sports, and there was Mike Roy with Fox Sports and Fran Morrison that got me in to do talent stats, and I got the chance to sit in the press box next to John Madden and Pat Summerall, just about 5 feet away from them, watching them do their thing and learning how they did broadcast. They would just have a conversation, and then they happen to have a television camera and then a microphone up in the press box. That was at the old Candlestick Park, and when you see any photos of Big C Sports, that's standing inside of Candlestick Park on the sideline. That one picture actually was taken with the Raiders playing the 49ers. That was a game in the regular season. I think it was the largest crowd ever at Candlestick Park, and that's the picture that's on the front of the Big C Sports page at Candlestick Park back in the day. So just so many great things have happened. I'm going to take what's called the Big C Pause, also known as the Big C Timeout. When I come back, we're going to talk about the NBA Power Rankings. The Power Rankings in the universe. Steph Curry breaks the record tonight for three-pointers, in the words of former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. We are back from the Big C Pause, also known as the Big C Timeout. You can follow Big C Sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the #1 podcast network in the universe. That's the 20 podcast applications all over the universe. All fair and level war. Really love the way things are going with Big C Sports. It's all fair and level war. I love so many things happening. As I want to tell you that Steph Curry, of course, as you know by now, has already broken the NBA three-point shootout actually not the shootout contest, but the three-point record. Steph Curry for three at Madison Square Garden. What a great scene. Really do love that. I'm going to get into Big C's NBA power rankings and do the part on some of them. I'm not going to cover every team, but I'm going to go over the teams that are worthy. I'm going to say number one in the NBA sports universe, the Golden State Warriors. Why not pick Golden State? The best team in basketball. Some people say, what about the rankings? Is someone undefeated? Well, Alabama, they have one loss on the season. Cincinnati's undefeated. Alabama's going to beat them, and they're ranked higher. So don't tell me about, well, you got to be undefeated to have, or you got to have a better record to have the better team. Not necessarily so at all. But Golden State Warriors, this is for this week in December, NBA basketball power rankings. Not only do they have the number one three-point shooter in the history of the NBA basketball universe, Steph Curry for three. They have him every night. And then after New York, tonight they're going to leave New York and fly into Boston, Logan International Airport. They're going to play Boston. Then they will trick back to the West Coast and play the Sacramento Kings, and they'll have a home and away with them. But Steph Curry, he got the three-point record tonight, beating the great Ray Allen, known as Jesus Shuttlesworth, in the movie He Got Game, produced and directed by the great Spike Lee. and starring Denzel Washington. Also, it was Ray Allen as Jesus Shuttleworth in the movie. Even Rick Fox was in the movie. There's a lot of good actors in that movie. It's about 2 decades ago. Go back and watch that movie. It was a great, great movie. And maybe that Spike Lee can do Steph Curry in He Got Game 2. Okay, because he does that game. You like that pun? He got Game 2. I mean, it's funny for people who understand it, but He Got Game 2. Really do appreciate that. But Golden State, if you think about it, they're an amazing team. Klay Thompson is expected back in the next few weeks after 2.5 years away. And the ongoing surprise for Golden State is that he continued to improve. And then you have also the play of Jordan Poole, who's also made Golden State very formidable in the University of Michigan products, dropping about 43 points per game beyond the arc in his past 10 games. I'm telling you, there's another great team that's going to challenge Golden State Warriors, even maybe in the playoffs. The Phoenix Suns, I have them number 2 in Big C's NBA power rankings. I know when you think about their franchise point leader, you look at Steve Nash, he only has 1,051. I'm not going to say only, but when you look at the fact that Curry has over 2,900 three-pointers, when you think about that, that's amazing. And his star is still rising. But back to the Phoenix Suns, I think about a great player by the name of Chris Paul. We all know that. But there's another young player on the team by the name of Devin Booker, which I believe he's on pace to become the Phoenix Suns career leader in three-point field goals by the finish of the 2022-23 season. He just passed Dan Marley for second place on the list for the Phoenix Suns, and is a game, I think it's still about 206 behind Steve Nash for the top spot, but it's all fair and level. He'll get there. He's a rising star for Phoenix. I want to bring in Big C's number 14 in the NBA. I'm going to go with the Brooklyn Nets, even though James Harden's in COVID protocol tonight. But Brooklyn has plenty of attention paid to Steph Curry's pursuit of the all-time record that he got on the East Coast. Isn't that something? In the mecca of them all, which if you follow Big C Sports, I said that would happen about a week ago, that the record would be broken at Madison Square Garden. And some people were saying, no, he's going to break it in Philadelphia. No, he's going to break it at home. And no, it's not going to happen then. Oh, he was going to break it in Indiana. Nope. I said that he would break it at Madison Square Garden because this has been a presentation of the National Basketball Association, and a great one it has been. When you think about three-pointers, everyone thinks about the great Kevin Durant, also James Harden, but a franchise three-point leader is Joe Harris. He has over 840 three-point baskets for Brooklyn. When you think about that. So that good old boy is doing his thing too. But James Harden, again, in COVID protocol, but Harden's about 50 behind Reggie Miller for third all-time. That's a milestone he should lock up before the All-Star break, or maybe after that, because now he's in COVID protocol, so he has to sit out until he shows that he's clear for that. I'm going to go number 4 in Big C's NBA power rankings, the defending NBA champion, Milwaukee Bucks for 3. The Milwaukee Bucks, the defending NBA champion, going to put them at number 4 in Big C's power rankings. When you think about, of course, King, Giannis Antetokounmpo, their franchise three-point leader for Milwaukee is the great Chris Middleton. Isn't that something? Has over 1,000 and nearly over 1,090 three-pointers. And Ray Allen had one of his three-point records broken early in the season when Chris Middleton broke the Bucks franchise record for most three-pointers made. And Allen did it in fewer games at 494 games. It took Middleton 566 games. They're going to call Ray Allen Jesus Shuttleworth for the movie He Got Game. Everyone should watch that. It's one of the greatest sports movies that I think of all time. It showed a lesson about the pressures on young college kids when they're deciding to go to a college right out of high school. You think there's a lot of pressure getting drafted out of college? Imagine the pressure being pulled in different directions to go to a college. And would you believe they wanted to recruit him to big state like Big C Sports? That's something. It's all over. I'm telling you, it's like prophecy. It's already written. And so you look at the Milwaukee Bucks. Of course, King Giannis Antetokounmpo is leading that team. But they are just a dominant basketball team. And don't look too far down the road because they may end up right back in the NBA Eastern Conference Finals this year, or actually 2022. I'm going to bring the number 5 in Big C's NBA basketball universe. I kind of do this with a little bit of consternation. The Utah Jazz playing in the backdrop of the Wasatch Mountains, beautiful Utah. They have a three-point franchise leader also by the name of Joe Ingles. He has over 1,045 three-point baskets. That good a boy. He broke John Stockton's all-time franchise record of threes made last season. But Ingles is probably just keeping the spot warm for Donovan Mitchell. He's also amazing. Ingles made it about 1,045 threes in his career, all in a Jazz uniform, only 237 more than Mitchell. And Mitchell's 82 threes this season alone also is on pace to shatter Utah's single-season record for threes set by Jordan Clarkson in 2000. He had a 208 last season. So that's a lot of good teams that can shoot the basketball, shoot the lights out for the NBA. So I want to give you number 6 in Big C's NBA power rankings. It's just my opinion. Everybody has their own team. I'm going to tell you, if you can't stand the heat, come on, producer. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the way of the lightning bolt. Get out of the way of the kitchen. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. The Miami Heat coming in number 6 in Big C's NBA power rankings. They also have a great three-point franchise point leader in Tim Hardaway, the great Tim Hardaway, 806. The Heat are giving up 13 threes a game, which puts them on pace for the third straight season of giving up at least 13 three-pointers per contest. Prior to the 2017-18 season, they had not given up an average of more than 9 per game. So teams are playing less defense, and they're trying to get more offensive now, and that's all fair and level war. Number 7 in Big C's NBA power rankings, it is Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls. Hold on, my producer messed that up. Michael Jordan retired. He's owner of the Charlotte franchise. Yeah, let me get that back. It's not Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, but it is the Chicago Bulls. They also have a franchise three-point leader in Kirk Heinrich at 1,049. It's only Zach LaVine's 5th season with the Chicago Bulls. But earlier this year, he passed the great Michael Jordan at 555. I love those numbers for lottery. Let me write that down for my lotto tickets. 555. May lightning not strike me. Oh, fair and level war. But 555 good lottery numbers are 333 is good too. All fair and level war. But back to the Big C's NBA power rankings. When you think about it, if Zach LaVine, with 625 career three-point baskets for the Bulls, if he produces similar numbers beyond the arc as compared to the past 3 seasons, he'll pass the great Scottie Pippen, who has 664. 664. And move up to 3rd on their franchise all-time list. But he has a ways to get there. It's all fair in love and war. I'm going to bring you... And then again, when I bring up this team for number 8 in Big C's NBA power rankings, people can have their own thoughts about it. But I'm going to go to the Memphis Grizzlies, and they are a very good team, even though they have some games that they lost. They probably should have won, but they won some games they probably should have lost also. They have a franchise three-point leader in the great Mike Conley. This good boy can shoot 1,086 threes. Second-year big man Desmond Bane, 71 threes this season alone. Might end up rewriting the Memphis three-point record book, as a lot of young players want to emulate Steph Curry now. They all try to emulate his shot. But he's on the pace to break Mike Miller's mark for the most three-pointers made in his season for that great franchise. That's 202. And Bane has already established himself as a great player for the Grizzlies. He'll likely spend several seasons in Memphis, and he shoots about 42% from 3. Isn't that something? He's only had, it's a short time in the league, but shooting 42% from 3, that tells you that good boy knows how to fill it in the bucket. Number 9 in Big C's NBA power rankings. And some people think, well, maybe they're too high, but I think it's not about your record. It's about what kind of team you are. I know they were just had their backside handed to them, but the Philadelphia 76ers, I'm not talking about just practice. The great Allen Iverson, would you believe? The franchise three-point leader for the Philadelphia 76ers at 885. Allen Iverson, 4 threes. I'm talking about practice, man. Practice. The great Allen Iverson. 885 three-point baskets. Stephen Curry has become the NBA's all-time three-point leader tonight. The great Rod Stewart. And when you think about it, it's amazing how many great players that we see in the NBA. Steph Curry is a career 44% shooter from 3 compared to 43% for his older brother. So Steph and Steph, when you think about, they grew up in the same backyard with the father, Dell Curry, showing them how to get the proper release on the ball. And it's amazing how they come from that one family. The father and 2 sons playing NBA basketball. That's amazing. Really do appreciate what the Curry has done with his young boys. It's all fair and level war. Number 10 in the NBA power rankings, LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Man, hold on. My producer pulled up the whole stat. LeBron plays in L.A. now. Oh, he does? No one told me. So, LeBron James, but still, Cleveland, this is for you. When you think about the three-point leader in franchise history for the Cleveland Cavaliers, the great LeBron James dropping 1,251. And Cleveland's the biggest surprise, a success story in the NBA season, averaging 12 threes per game for Cleveland, which puts it 16th in the league. To put that in the right frame of mind, the Cavaliers, that team that won the championship in 2016, all because there could be an asterisk. Draymond Green was ejected from the following game, not that game, and that helped Cleveland get back on top. Is all fair. This has been a presentation of the National Basketball Association, right? But anyway, they average about almost 11 threes per game in the regular season. It's all fair and level war. So that's all I want to bring you in the world of the NBA basketball, the universe, power basketball universe, Big C style. It's all fair and level war. I'm going to take this call the Big C pause, also known as the Big C timeout. When I come back, I'm going to talk more about some sports in the world of sports. In the words of the former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back. All right, we are back from the Big C pause, also known as the Big C timeout. You can follow Big C Sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 20 podcast applications all over the universe and 4 TV applications. Really do appreciate that. Are you ready for some football? Well, actually, that was last night. It was last night. And last night it was down in the desert. What a great game when you think about NFL football is amazing. I love the fact that so many people love NFL football. Monday night's game was absolutely an amazing game, in my opinion, and we all got to see the shining stars of NFL football. I love what happened last night. The Cardinals, the Rams, Matthew Stafford got a win down in the desert over the great Kyler Murray and everything that they've been able to do. Kind of a shootout game. It was 30-23, and Murray, his usual highlight reel, is what we see. But the Rams, they play defense the way they're supposed to play defense. And now I see why Von Miller made such a great addition to that defense. We all know they have the stars on the defensive front, but Von Miller made a stop. Arizona went for a fourth down last night. Von Miller snuck in the backfield and able to get a hit the running back behind the line of scrimmage, and that sealed it up. We all know how good that team is. But the Rams, they're 9-4, back in conversation for the title lead when the NFC West, and maybe, just maybe, a number one seed, but a lot will have to happen. But at 9-4, they're not that far behind. A lot of teams ahead of them got just three losses with the Rams. They beat Tampa Bay head to head, so they would have the tiebreaker over them if they finish with the final score, the same record at the end of the season. And then obviously you have Arizona now. They have they both split games with them, and then Green Bay. If Green Bay were to lose again right now, we're still looking at the tiebreaker. They have the tiebreaker over the Rams, and they have the tiebreaker over the Arizona Cardinals. They have not played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year, but we know last year the NFC, the road team won. That was Tampa. So even home field advantage, people say, oh, it's too difficult to win in Green Bay. I've seen the Giants go back to Green Bay and win, and they propel themselves onto a Super Bowl. We all saw Tampa Bay go back there and win last year, and they went on to win a Super Bowl. But what's next for the Rams? They're back in the saddle to compete for the NFC West number one seed, return home to host their division rival, the Seattle Seahawks. They are 5-8. They won 2 in a row, and that's going to be on Sunday, and that's a week after Seattle routed the Texans, the Houston Texans down in Texas. The Cardinals are now 10-3, and they are now fighting for multiple teams in the top spot in the NFC. They're going to visit the Lions. Detroit's only won 11-1, who fell to the Denver Broncos in an emotional Week 14 for the Denver Broncos. When you think about it, I think there's about, of the 32 teams in the NFL, there's still about 24 that are alive for a playoff spot. Actually, about 26 that are alive for a playoff spot. But when you think about how good Aaron Donald getting the sack to end the game, Murray said they didn't understand what play they had called on the final play of the game. And as I always say, this has been a presentation of the National Football League. That's just my opinion. Some good old boys told me about that a long time ago. And sometimes you see it. But when you see it, it's a game where you can't predict who's going to win a game anymore. I mean, if you think about that, the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Buffalo Bills. Think about that for a moment. And how did the Rams go in and take what was a 37-20 loss at home at SoFi and go on to Arizona and get a win down there? It's just an amazing story what the NFL is all about. I love the way the games are being played. I've been a fan of NFL football since I was a young boy. But also with this, I'm just being honest. That's why I want to have Big C Sports. I don't want to be like everybody else. I'm being honest. When the Supreme Court made, gambling legal in most states now, you don't have to go to state lines to Nevada or New Jersey, then how does a team go from a 17-point loss to a 7-point win? They lose at home by 17, they win by 7 on the road. Well, you can say they added some more players. Odell Beckham Jr. got his chest in the win last night. He's become a star receiver also for the Rams, really helping them get what they need offensively to get things rolling. So, congratulations, Kyler Murray. Obviously, he's got some more to learn as a young quarterback, but that Arizona that offense is scary. The defense is scary too. But the Rams have the defense that we all thought we would see in them. What we saw last night, they had the big blowout win over Jacksonville, got them back in the saddle. People say, yeah, that was Jacksonville. Well, Jacksonville beat the Buffalo Bills. And right before New England went into Buffalo and beat them, Mac Jones threw the ball. I think he threw the ball just 3 times in that game. And they were able to get a win. You think about how tough it is to win in the NFL. And then the Rams blew out Jacksonville. And then the Rams got on an airplane and flew down to Arizona. And they had a 10-point lead over Arizona down into about a minute left in the game where Arizona kicked a field goal to bring it to 20. They brought it to 30-23 because it was 30-20 with about a minute left in the game. They were driving, but to go on the road and do that against a high-powered team in the Arizona Cardinals, that's an amazing feat in itself. So there's a lot that the NFL has to offer leading up to the playoffs for people. And I remember having these conversations in the past, how people thought that maybe 17 games was too many. Based on what I'm seeing now, we'll be seeing 18 regular season games in the NFL in this next decade. Probably within the next 5 years. We're going to see an 18-game regular season and 2 preseason games. Because right now, players, NFL's a year-round business. You can't wait till training camp to get in health, to get in shape. You got to be in shape all the time. It's all fair in level work. So congratulations for the Rams, making it a little bit tighter noose around the NFC West, which all of their teams won except for the team that was leading the NFC West going into the game, and that's Arizona. They lost to the Los Angeles Rams. That game is sponsored by the Big C Burger. It's a tasty burger, and it came with what's all those exotic meats. And as I heard, a cardinal and a ram were exotic meats. But congratulations for them, all friend, love, and war. You want to know what I love about the slogan when you're going to Las Vegas? It says, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And people go, yeah! What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, that's not necessarily true. But what is going to stay in Vegas is the ability to pull in professional sports. First was the Las Vegas, the Golden Knights, the NHL. They went there. And then there was so much talk about, well, the NFL will never go to Las Vegas. Well, the NFL's there. And now there's talk about, they've always tried to get an NBA team. And would you believe, there's talk of them getting a Major League Baseball team. But what they do have now, live from Las Vegas, is time. And now, welcome to Super Bowl 58. Yep, Super Bowl 58, Big C Sports will be there in beautiful Las Vegas. Isn't that something? Las Vegas has been chosen as the host city for Super Bowl 58 in 2024. That's just a kickoff right around the corner. Pending some final approval by owners. And tell me what owner wouldn't want to go to Las Vegas and take everyone to Las Vegas. Tell me what media wouldn't want to go to Las Vegas, because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, if that makes sense to you. So there's so many reasons that Las Vegas is a prime destination. It's really become a place for not just adult entertainment, like the Rat Pack back in the day, but it's for families too. An official announcement is expected on Wednesday when the league's owner, that they met in Dallas of all places. You know, Jerry Jones said, hey, how about that? Let's have a Super Bowl in Dallas again. That we don't need it in Dallas. We're going to go to Las Vegas. And then So Los Angeles this year, Big C Sports will be at SoFi Stadium in beautiful Los Angeles for Super Bowl 56. And then also in Las Vegas for Super Bowl 58. Super Bowl 57, I believe, is going to be in Phoenix, Arizona. So Big C Sports will also be at Super Bowl 7 in Phoenix, Arizona. So the Super Bowl is staying on the West Coast. Remember starting Big C Sports in Super Bowl 50 when they came out to Northern California, San Francisco, Santa Clara. So the original hosting duties for Super Bowl 58, they were awarded to New Orleans, but when the NFL recently added a 17th game to its schedule, the end of the regular season was pushed ahead by a week. As a result, the 2024 season-ending championship game was moved to February 4th to February 11th and created a conflict with New Orleans' annual Mardi Gras celebration. So they weren't able to move Mardi Gras to get a Super Bowl, which would have been a double surplus of money poured into New Orleans, but I guess they weren't willing to budge on Mardi Gras that they have every year. And the Super Bowl comes to New Orleans. How often? Last time they had it, New Orleans, I think it was 2012 when the Baltimore Ravens beat the San Francisco 49ers when the lights went out. It's all fair and love and war. I think they should have moved Mardi Gras back a week. I mean, why not? You get the Super Bowl 1 week, Mardi Gras next week. You can't tell me that wouldn't be an influx of money for the New Orleans area that really needs it. It's all fair and love and war. But I really love what's happening in the world of NFL football. I want to give NFL football some praise. Give it praise. Give it praise. Steph Curry for three. Steph Curry breaks the NBA three-point record tonight by surpassing the great Jesus son of earth, Ray Allen. He did it in New York City. Yes, Madison Square Garden, the Mecca of a ball. Congratulations, Steph Curry, three-point champion of the universe. Back in the day, there's a man by the name of Drew Boudini Brown. He was known as Muhammad Ali's right-hand man. He would always tell Ali, you flow like a butterfly, you sing like a bee, you rumble, young man, rumble. With all you've got to use, how can you lose? I always say, I'm fast, I'm pretty. With all these big cheeseburgers that make me light on my feet, I can't possibly be beat. That's why I'm so pretty, the big cheeseburgers make me light on my feet. Contrary to popular demand. That's why I'm always rumbling. I love Ali, Drew Boudini Brown. My beautiful mother always says there's never ever an excuse for racism or domestic violence. You know, any man, woman, or child going through that crap, pick up the phone and ask for help. Because no man, woman, or child should ever have to go through that garbage on their own. As we always tell you, on every Big C Sports Show, we thank you, we appreciate you, and we hope that you have a super fantastic day.